as we relive some of the more interesting moments out of that last series between Cloud9 and Complexity. We find a way to further ourselves here through the bracket on to TSM versus Mouse. Hello and welcome back to the DreamHack Pro Circuit live at Dallas, Texas here. I am your host, Wade Dreadnought Penfold, and we are just continuing onward here. But luckily for us, at least some constants or things that we thought we knew are still remaining true. Yeah. The fact that we did get a pretty dominant performance from Cloud9.
Yeah, Cloud9 looked really good, but at the end of the day, now we're moving on to the more bizarre maybe with TSM versus Mouse. Like two teams that didn't have the greatest of seasons, but they're trying to turn it around for DreamHacks.
It was relieving to get a match that we could predict, and then now we're back here where I don't know what's going to go on, what's going to happen, but I think the moral of the story here is going to be Speed versus Metsonaris in this match.
Okay, and what about this matchup, specifically with those players, are you going to be keeping your eyes on there?
It's the impact, because we saw Speed just almost every single goal he was involved with, and then Metsa getting the clutch plays whenever he needs to. We saw him get the insane save, and then turn around, get the counterattack, and perfectly slot it in the goal to get the win over NRG.
So recently, especially at the back end of the season there for our CS Season 7, it seemed like a lot of the thought processes, when are we going to get Remco back involved into everything? Ignite then popping off, and you know, Metsa, he's a part of the roster, but he seems more of that kind of support group. Yes, he was the man to step up, but we're looking at this and we're like, we're no longer worried about Remco getting involved. We want to see Metsa just lead the charge as we've gotten from him as of late.
So when we saw TSM, they qualified for DreamHack Dallas. They were playing really well versus Vitality throughout the season of the RLCS. Metsonaris was that X factor where that's not necessarily like expected when he joined TSM, but he's been great on the offensive side.
I definitely thought that in the NRG series, Remco was doing pretty well. I saw him get a ton of demos and going for the extra play in the rotation there.
And here we see TSM. They know how to play in a live atmosphere. They are the E-League 2018 champions. Metsonaris, he got his first title there. And I remember when Remco was going up to hoist that trophy, he's like, Metsonaris, like, here, man. Like, that one's for you, because he's been so close for so long. But Remco, he's been around. Like, this was his first season to have the same exact roster between Season 6 and Season 7. And that didn't work out necessarily. But obviously, these guys are still a force.
Yeah.
So we would expect to see them in Season number 8.
And Ignite, being the shooting maniac that he is, going to come here and try and get some shots on board, but it's going to be hard against a team like Mouse, somebody who's very fast, in my opinion, got a lot of energy, always in your face and on the field.
So I'm going to try and keep this title going. Speed, the tires for hire. I want this to stick, all right? Speed,
all right, I'm on it. I'm on board.
He subs in for teams, and they win titles. I don't know why it works. Obviously, that morale that he brings will help so much. And a lot, he's always had that energy for this team. And obviously, like in a live environment, it's going to help so much more when you're side by side with your teammates.
I mean, just look at them talking. They're goofing around, and it's important to look at the player cams. Then we got Tigray, just super serious. He's like, I don't know these guys. I'm not associated with them right now.
So he's sitting there, he's like, yeah, I don't want to be associated, but hey, we're winning games, right? So that's all that matters.
Yeah, and this roster, again, as we've already pointed out, the fact that Speed is coming in here as a temporary sub, the success that they end up finding, and this is something we've seen from Speed in the past. Do we think this kind of carefree, lackadaisical mentality that they have, or, you know, almost kind of renaissance, they feel reborn here, is that enough to be able to take down TSM? Because we have seen a pretty intimidating version here of TSM.
It's tough, because it is very possible, because I feel like if you don't have that pressure on you, then you're playing your same old Rocket League, right? And everyone else is just going to be slightly worse than they normally are. So players that are more carefree, they can usually look so much better when they're probably actually not playing any better than they normally do. It's just everyone's playing down to them.
Exactly, and they're just playing their average game, and Speed has no, connections with anything else. He's just here to sub in, to play, to have a good time, and pay attention to the webcams we see every time a goal gets happened or they get scored on. Honestly, you can see them talking and conversing back and forth. I know a lot's feeling really good right now having Speed on his roster.
And to add to that, I would say the minute that you see a lot maybe not responding in a positive sense in that middle camera as he has been when he gets scored on, that's when maybe you can start doubting in Mouse, because I feel like that would be the breaking point, because emotions have been a huge impact here for the roster. But now it is time for us here to guess on who we think is going. It's no longer predictions. I'm just translating it over. We're just guessing on who we think is going to walk away with it, especially with one as unpredictable as this.
I am extremely impressed with Mousesports throughout this tournament. They were 3-18 in 2019 in notable games. They've already won 4 here. But it wouldn't be me without not picking Mousesports. So I'm going to pick TSM because TSM, just that experience factor alone, I feel like they'll take it.
I completely agree, but there's something inside of me that's wanting me to pick Mouse, so I'm going to pick Mouse for this one. I think they're going to be more aggressive out there. If a lot and Speed come in with energy, and Tigre, we saw him get a crazy reset, like the swoop whenever he was, exactly, the scoop. It was nuts. I know he can, pop off when he needs to. I think Miles is going to take it.
Yeah, and we started DreamHack Dallas with the who is going to be our Echo Zulu? When are we going to get a response team to be able to have such an outlier performance like they once had with their upsets? And I feel like I agree with you, Turtle. I'm on the side of Mouse. I think that they are that roster that is going to find a way to eke ahead here, even of that, against a roster as impressive as we've gotten from TSM.
Hey, man, we've seen crazier things throughout the weekend, Mouse. They did take out Vitality, so, hey, anything's possible.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that it was so crazy the past 2 days. Now we're going to go with some bold predictions, and then we're going to lose.
Yeah, who knows?
I know no matter what happens is that if anybody's keeping track of our percentages, I ask that you please show mercy and stop doing that, because it's been a wild here 2 days, but it's now time to figure out between this interesting wild card kind of matchup who is going to pull ahead. But we got to send you over to the commentary crew. It is going to be Corelli and Achieves. Take it away, boys.
Thank you so much, Dreadnought, and definitely a good quarterfinal matchup. And Mouse, Speed playing particularly well yesterday, but Metza as well able to pull out a couple of big goals yesterday versus NRG. So do we think TSM can continue to have that great aggression and try and bring that out versus a team like Mouse who's been pretty hot-handed so far?
Absolutely. I'm seeing similarities between TSM and Dignitas on land. They really do show up here, TSM have. But on the other side, Mouse, they had that X factor and Speed, and like Gibbs has been saying, he shows up at land just as an individual for any team that he's on. So Mouse, definitely a formidable opponent, and again, can't forget TSM taking down NRG yesterday.
And Tigre scored a stunner of a goal yesterday as well, so maybe he'll be able to bring that out and break down that historically stingy defense of Team Solo Mid, and we are about to get game number 1 underway for you guys. So, teams joining up shortly, and we'll get game 1 going. But I'm curious to see, of course, we talked a lot about it over the weekend, iGNITE, the guy that's always the question mark for TSM. So now the pressure's on. They haven't won anything since E-League, and can TSM get themselves to a semifinal matchup?
There's only one way to find out. Metzenaris trying to put on a shot here early for TSM. Mouse trying to find a way out from their own end. iGNITE. The opposite corner. Speed's there. Goes over his head in Tigre on the clear out. He's played a great third man so far for Mouse. Cleaning up, letting Speed do the dirty work. And that's really where Mouse finds success. And you can see it here. Speed across the box. A lot almost there.
Well, challenge though. iGNITE. Good read on it. Almost able to take that ball away from Tigre. Took a bite out of him though. Forced him off that ball for just a moment. Lets Metza collect his thoughts on the back end. Find a solid pinch down onto the orange half. Pretty conservative spread from TSM here. Not really getting a wide spread of the pitch. Not really having too many options when they try and pass the ball or hit it to space. So iGNITE forward. Will be the only one to track it down off the backboard. And Remco will decide to hit up for it. Speed able to find that clear, and a slow start here for the quarterfinals between these two teams. You can understand why. A lot of pressure in single elimination. You definitely don't want to be the one to make the first mistake.
Definitely don't want to go down early here in game number 1. A tone setter for both teams as iGNITE and Metzenaris combined to put that one off the back wall for Mouse. Now Remco. Top of the box, here's iGNITE. Almost getting the dunk on Speed. Mouse a little slow to react here to my game from Remco across. Can't get it. Tigre there to bail out Mouse.
Great touch from Metza, keeping the attack going, and a demo in the net, but Remco's too far away. Has to wait his turn in midfield. Didn't feel comfortable. Going aggressive on Speed there and trying to put the pressure on Mouse. So they get some time to recover here, and they're set up on the midfield line. And Remco bumped away from that ball. Also needs that corner boost. A little slow to go for it. Means Speed has a chance to pass, but it's right into iGNITE. A lot not able to get the ball into the middle for Tigre. Somehow still able to come up with a touch, though, out into the corner.
Lots of space for Mouse there. Between the box of TSM and midfield. Speed forced to go back here as a lot throws it down. Tigre's there with the second touch. A lot's up. Can he drop it down? It's just iGNITE in the net. Speed there to follow it up. And Mouse on the board first.
And that's the danger of getting caught slightly too far forward here in iGNITE's case. He was having to rotate back into net. And unfortunately, you got to respect that shot from a lot. You're not sure if it's going to be barred in or under the crossbar or anything. You got to jump at that first one, pull out the defense. Mouse on the board first.
I just mentioned it. There was a ton of space for Mouse to work with. TSM slow to react on the clear and to break out. Speed makes them pay. So now with the lead, Mouse pushes downfield a lot. Met by Ignite and Remco. Metzenaris there to clean things up for TSM. Looking to respond back, but Mouse not letting them out. A weak touch from Speed, but it comes out to a lot. Another clear space for Speed to work with. Given away.
And Mouse as well. Great job trying to hang onto the ball as much as they can. Because again, there's, like you said, a lot of space for Mousesports and a lot. Blast one off the backboard. Well caught by Ignite. Tigre not able to get the pass out towards the top of the box, and means Ignite will find a long clear after the demo. Pressure from Remco. Bounce for Metzenaris. Defended by Speed and a lot out into space. Remco takes his time with it. Not able to get that midfield boost, however. Again, Mouse with some time. Free ball for Tigre in his own corner.
Very spread out here from Mouse. Taking advantage. Here's a lot with a shot. Can Remco get back? He can't do it. And Mouse extend their lead.
And Remco, he had plenty of boost. It's just shadowing what he thought was going to happen there. Ignite didn't win that challenge cleanly. He was ready to go get that ball in the midfield line. He saw the shot coming, but again, too much pace from a lot. A great shot. And Mousesports, I won't say comfortable, but with a minute and a half, 2 feels pretty good.
A comfortable lead here for Mouse as they're taking advantage of the space given from TSM. So far, TSM really haven't shown much on the offensive end. Only coming up with 2 shots. There's an opportunity. Maybe Metzenaris can make amends here as everyone committed on the play for TSM, and Mouse able to break out.
With pressure from Speed towards the net. Defended. Ignite out towards the side wall. Misses that second touch, though. Allows a lot to come in and keep the pressure going and waste a few more seconds for Mouse. That's got a little too much of that ball. Ended up handing it off to Mouse. Thankfully, Ignite not able to come up with the touch. Remco as well misses, and TSM. It's a rough go in game number 1. The execution not there as we continue, and another miss from Ignite. And you feel like that might be the death knell for game 1. Just too much time lost in trying to just gain possession of the ball.
30 seconds left. TSM really haven't shown much offense here. Ignite. This touch actually taken away by Remco there. Now Metza throwing this one into the Mouse corner. Speed easily dealt with. And it goes over Remco. Ignite trying to slow things down here and throw it away. Speed, 10 seconds left. Can Metzenaris put one away? No, it's a lot. On his back wall to clear this one out. Mouse are going to walk away with a game 1 victory.
Ignite will tap things off the corner. Metzenaris one for the road. No, sir. Down into the middle, and a lot will lead his team with a solid performance, an assist, a goal, and a good 2-goal win for Mouse.
Very quiet game from TSM. Did not see much of them here. They walk away with 4 shots, but really didn't see much offense coming out from them. We talked about it quite a bit. Mouse given a lot of space there in the midfield and even in the TSM side, and they absolutely took advantage. Mouse finding 2 goals, and it really was picking up that speed at the right moments to find them.
This was a tough one. Again, Ignite. That's a tough ask. It's pretty close. You got to jump at it one way or the other, and great support from Speed, rushing out of the midfield to get there for it. And Remco was ready for a different challenge from Ignite and just couldn't race back into the net. So much power to secure game number 1, and it was a pretty slow game in terms of the offense for both teams, but all smiles for Mousesports as they were able to stick one out.
It's something to point out here for any team that we've seen Speed on in a LAN setting. They always be talking about each other, smiling, and on the other side, TSM all serious, locked in. They've got to respond back after the game 1 performance. Again, they were very quiet, didn't see much of anyone, and shut out in game number 1.
And you're hoping to see that at least one team's offense will really come out here, start to show the speed, because there's a lot of space given by TSM, but then again, Mouse really not able to put too many threatening shots on target until they want a nice challenge in the midfield line somewhere, put somebody in a tough spot. So both teams going to be looking to get a more firm grip here in the series in game number 2 on Utopia Dusk. And it will start with Speed off the TSM backboard, and Tigre to lend a helping hand. Not able to find the pass, though, and Alot's going to have to wait his turn, and it means he's too late. High ignite, Metz double commit. Metz is the one to come up with principal touch and a beautiful double tap. I wasn't sure if he was going to have enough in the tank, but yes, TSM start game 2.
So this is interesting because Metz actually goes off the ceiling to get his flip back, puts it down in the face of Mouse. A beautiful play from Metz to stay with it across the field. TSM respond back in game 2.
No slow starts as the series continues here in game 2. Speed trying to get one back off the kickoff, and oh so close, just wide of the net. And Alot will keep the pressure up. Tigre out into the side now. Actually almost through all the TSM defense. An aggressive push from TSM.
Might pan out as Ignite trying to get a second touch there. Remco and Metz nowhere to be found, though. Everyone rotated back, like you said. They kind of realized everyone was pushed up. So 2 go back, and the play fizzles out.
Touchdown to Alot, down into the middle, and Remco, excuse me, diving out of the corner of the field, not able to make it in front. And again, the speed from Alot, the one that gets it past the defense.
And no support from Metz touch there, so it comes straight out to Alot, and again, finding so much space in the midfield. Mouse taking advantage once more. TSM caught off guard, but we got a tie game.
Nice quick equalizer for Mousesports, and again, some kickoff shenanigans. TSM not quite able to cleanly get possession of the ball. Remco missing the touch, leaves Metz back on his own half, and a little bump from Speed will slow things down for TSM a little bit. Alot came in too hard, though. Wasn't really able to hamper that TSM clear, so they're set on defense. Metz over the top of 1 to Ignite. Great lead on, but Remco gonna have to size up what Mouse give him. Double commit again. TSM struggling with that, but Metz reads where it's gonna end up. And thankfully will buy some time, but recurring issue on day 3 for TSM so far.
TSM commit the ultimate sin with no one touching the ball in the double commit there. Still pressing on the attack. No shots coming as Mouse. Defense standing tall here. 3 minutes left in game 2. And Speed on the attack, a shot on target. Ignite comes out of his own goal to make the save. Tigre trying to press on here for Mouse. And now TSM, it's their turn. Downfield.
Easy save for Speed. Didn't get all of it, though. Remco off the backboard. Ignite trying to get up there early and just punch it home, but didn't have the right read. Tigre bumps one out of the way. Slow touch, wave dash shot. Remco able to get in front. Speed blocked by Ignite. And TSM hang tough. Remco has one out to the far side. There's it out to Metz. Not able to cleanly catch it, though, and get that ball in the nose and really put some pressure on Mouse in the offensive third. Tigre continuing things for Mousesports out of the midfield. Speed needs help. There's Alot down into the middle, stopped by Remco right at him.
Nicely executed, but the shot just not hit with pace, and everyone from TSM are ready to make that save. This ball rolls back to the Mouse corner. TSM looking for more offensive pressure. We really haven't seen too much. Remco, his touch does go down to Metz. Can he get a second one off the back wall? Speed does get a touch to break that one up. And Ignite now throwing this one up for Remco. He's there trying to drop it down off the ceiling. He had no support behind him. Metz was still moving up. And he's making a play, a bump on Alot.
And now it's great support from TSM out of the midfield. Seemingly they've found some gaps to work with here as Mousesports just forced to try and find a hole to punch it through, and TSM able to kind of do whatever they like. Finally, Tigre is at least able to contest Ignite at the midfield line. Speed forward, Alot not able to get a handle on it. Nice bump from Speed to push Ignite off the ball, and maybe a chance for Mousesports to get things back in order on their own half as Speed trying to battle Remco for possession. Ignite again, great support from the midfield for TSM as they keep the pressure up as we approach the final minute.
Things picking up for TSM, finding more time in the final third as Metz tried to contest Speed there. Now Mouse on the breakout here. Can they find a pass across? No, Tigre removed from the play. Ignite tries to go past Speed. Speed does a great job to keep on that ball, but Remco comes through for TSM. Just over a minute. Metz can't get the touch across, still keeping the play alive as TSM, everyone rotated out. Tigre with a lot of time. Can't do much with the ball here as now Speed picking it up for Mouse. Trying to find Alot. He does so. A weak shot towards the net. Remco forced to go up and make the save.
And it's good to see Mousesports at least get some opportunities out of their own half. It's been a while since they've been able to set up an extended stay. So maybe this push here onto the offense will let them get the job done. Speed actually able to bump by Ignite, not able to get over Metzenaris. Solid challenge and a lot to keep things going. The final 30 beginning to tick down, and it's pressure for Mousesports at the end of game 2. Speed off the backboard. Can he reach it? Not quite, and off the mark. So close, but just too much of an angle to try and correct. And TSM, a welcome clear, as not a good catch. A lot out into the middle. Rimco's going to have to scramble back, and a lot will flick it past, and Mousesports weather the storm and get a counterattack.
And it's all on the first touch here from a lot. Goes right past the defender who was expecting him to move it forward. He goes to the center of the field and then gets a flick to go by TSM. A great first touch from a lot, sets him up and gives his team the lead late in game 2.
And again, that missed touch. Remco expecting something else on the sidewall, didn't get it, and twice a lot beats them to the net. Pass into the middle, TSM sniffed out by a lot. Tigre drives it into the floor, and Mousesports 2-0 lead in the series, and Speed and Co. My goodness.
And would you believe it? Mouse, a team with a sub coming in who didn't have a great season in RLCS. 2 up against TSM, a team who just took down NRG just the other day.
And TSM holding so much offensive pressure, only able to muster 3 shots. Here's a couple of them. That beautiful double tap from Metzenaris. Strong opening, to say the least. But unfortunately, it was pretty quickly answered just a few moments later. Again, that pass into the middle that they couldn't quite dive across. And at the end of the game, 8 seconds left. Missed touch from Ignite on the wall, and a lot again beating Remco to the net.
And something that made it even worse was Remco on the fake challenge as well. Forced to go back, and you can see Mouse getting hype on those replays. Yelling, screaming.
Let's go.
Absolutely elated here, being 2 up over TSM. And on the other side now, TSM have to figure it out. They picked it up for a little while there. They had some attacks. And had some possession, but it just never really came through after Metzenaris' shot.
Yeah, they had some great pressure on offense, but again, the lack of creating shot opportunities, the rough part in game number 2, and now it's reverse sweep territory if they want to go on into the semifinals. And TSM, as it's the case for so many teams here at DreamHack Dallas, this is the pinnacle of their season. They don't get to go to New Jersey with everybody else, and they would love to cap off league play with a win here at DreamHack. And so, game number 3, all tension on TSM. Mousesports have given themselves plenty of opportunity to knock off Remco, Ignite, and Metzenaris. But again, long clears to start off game 3, and pressure already starting to yield some results, but can they find the back of the net this time around? Pass to Metzenaris off the side, and Remco not able to get there for the second chance.
If TSM want a chance here in this series, they've got to pick up the pace. Show us that 3-headed beast that the Des talked about yesterday, one in which we saw. Here's Mouse, trying to find the second touch, couldn't do so. Speed now. Picking up this ball in the midfield, tried to go past Ignite, perfectly read by him, but with no boost, he can't follow it up, bailed out by Remco. So TSM trying to move down the field. Immediately stopped by Mouse. Speed on the ball.
Nice play from Ignite, letting that ball roll down, and actually pulled out 2 members of Mouse from the midfield. So TSM has a little bit of space. Speed quick to close the gap, however. Lifted by Ignite towards the middle. A lot applying pressure, but does he have help for the touch into the middle? He will not. Not able to find the pass. And so Tigre will lend a helping hand out of the midfield line. Now slowly ramping up. Metzenaris in a rough spot. A lot goes back post and just wide. Great option. He had Metzenaris clean beat, but just didn't place it properly.
Placement not there for a lot, but almost a second chance there off the top of the box. Speed couldn't collect.
Another pass to a lot, and this one also off the mark, and TSM currently having to deal with a demo on Ignite. Tigre pass it again, and that one will find. Keep feeding him the ball. He'll get it in there eventually, and into the top right corner it goes.
Third time's the charm, and a lot doing a great job of coming to the opposite side of the field, coming at the play, so that pass light to him, but hit with pace. Tough to save from TSM. When you give a lot 3 chances there in a row, he's bound to score one of them. Does so here for Mouse.
Been involved in every goal in the series so far. A lot came to play at day 3. And TSM only able to find the back of the net 1 time early on in game number 2 so far. They're going to need an equalizer to keep the series rolling. Remco midfield for Ignite. high touch, beautiful pass for Metz. There's the demo, but Metz had to figure out how to get the ball around Speed and just trying to hang onto the ball right now. And that's all you can ask for TSM is every offense starts with hanging onto the ball, but currently it's Mousesports on the offensive. High bounce, great clear from iGnite off the wall. And the biggest problem for TSM is not being able to hang onto it past the midfield line. Speed missing the double tap off the backboard. And TSM will still try and find some possession.
TSM just giving away so much to Mouse moving down here. Here's Speed, so quick, a lot. Now a second touch, can't find it. The defense was scrambled for TSM. Now Tigre's got to make the stop. Metz goes over a lot. Gets thrown away. Remco on the dribble, stopped up by Tigre. The defense doing so well here for Mousesports. Metz, the pass. Nobody home. Remco actually ended up with the ball anyways. Speed clears this one across his own side. iGnite lying in wait, picks up full boost. Can he follow this one up? He's got Tigre on the hook. He does beat him, but a lot just gets a touch to touch that one out.
Metz in damage control. Him and Remco try and get through Tigre, but it'll be Speed to be the beneficiary of it. Bounce into the middle, delay. Remco has all the time in the world. Tigre is waiting his turn.
Patience from Tigre, knowing not when to go there. Great example of not forcing the play. TSM were scrambled on defense, but they did a great job of just not overcommitting. You're up by 1 in a Game 3 situation. TSM are looking better and better here in Game 3.
As was the case in Game 2, however. They had some solid pressure, but it was tough to get those shots on target. iGnite will beat 2. Can they get it by a lot? Not enough. Metz again in charge of damage control for TSM. Buying a few moments for everybody to get back. Remco drives one towards the net. Tigre is actually caught too far forward, and it will sneak its way past the goal line.
And Remco quietly moves down the field here. Tigre and Speed on top of each other when they're rotating back, and Remco just slips by Tigre to beat him to the net. A 1-1 game here with 1 minute left.
Rough stuff for Mousesports to hang on for so long and allow almost a free goal, and now you're gonna have to find one more to knock off TSM. Long clear from iGnite, bar down, and almost for TSM, and a rough go. They'd love to get the lead here, but it might go back the other way, and a huge save from iGnite, slammed off the crossbar into the midfield line.
Things heating up for both teams here. Both good opportunities after that goal was scored. Metz here, a second touch, not found, but it comes out to Remco. TSM hunting for this go-ahead goal late in Game 3. iGnite, the pass across, but everyone's got to get out from TSM. Speed now. Can Mouse find one late? Are we going to overtime?
Remco's got iGnite up there. Tigre was in front of it, but still couldn't beat him to the ball. And again, second effort from iGnite delays the Mousesports push, allows Metz to come up, and maybe the last couple of opportunities belong to TSM. Remco now, high off the backboard. Tough ask. iGnite sets it back down, but it'll be Metz. He'll let it bounce. So overtime in Game 3, TSM with a chance to stay alive.
Well, the games have been close here. TSM, though, just haven't been able to ramp up. Can they find it here in overtime and keep their chances alive?
Speed launched towards the TSM back wall. Metz with time, but not a lot. Tigre on top of him in a snap. Towards the middle, a lot. Down the gut, and an easy stop for TSM. And TSM pick it up right where they left off, fend off a short Mousesports push, grab the boost, and set up on the line. See what they can get going here. Still throw it into the corner. Remco needs to beat a lot, but it's Metz again, very patient. It's been the man to buy all the time for TSM, doing a lot of the dirty work in this series alone.
Just under a minute of overtime. Remco and Metz get tied up into their own corner here. Not punished. Mouse was just watching it happen. Here's Remco in the long clear. Speed, he's actually beat to his own net. Remco does it again. He got the first goal in the same exact way, and he catches the defense sleeping.
And Speed actually knew it too. He was creeping forward. He saw that ball just start bouncing. And as soon as he saw that it was going to be TSM's ball, he immediately turned around, started heading back. But even still, not enough to get it done. So 1 minute into OT, TSM will stay alive.
And it's funny because this play develops because Remco and Metz bump into each other and roll back into their own corner. And so Mouse pushes up the field, and Remco spots the gap in the defense. They push just a little bit too far.
And Tigre was rotating back on the opposite end of the pitch. He was racing back as well. So finally, doesn't take much. Just a little bit of over-aggression will cause Mouse a clinching spot to go into the semifinal matchup, and one more time to try and break down this TSM defense.
And I really hope this ignites TSM and gets them going here in this game, because they still have been very, very quiet on offense. We haven't seen that fast-paced rotation. We haven't seen them lock in Mouse on defense. They've just been taking the goals when they've come. Obviously, Remco getting 2 here. And Mouse has really been controlling a lot of this game. And so TSM, they get a win here. Hopefully things can move forward.
And TSM, they'll be content, of course, with how Game 3 panned out, but they know they can do better. And it really was the three-headed monster the first couple of days that they were playing here at DreamHack. And still, they know the job's not done. You play long enough in a LAN environment, you know what's required to win, and no one knows that better on that team than Remco. And he had a big game 3 as well, both goals to take them to a victory. So can he continue to lead them here in game number 4? Ignite finding some better touches. Metza continuing to buy plenty of time, but is it enough to beat a hot Mousesports? Game 4 kicks off, and already Mouse looking to gain some possession on the TSM half. Punched towards the net and an easy stop. Metza, huge challenge, forces Mouse off their half. And pressure now for TSM if they can hang on to it. Long clear from Mousesports. Ignite, not able to win the ball in the midfield line. Remco off the backboard, free ball for Mouse, pass into the middle, and thankfully Metza, the first one to it, pass was a bit low.
A lot trying to find it out of his own corner. TSM looking to control this game a bit more. Show a little bit more poise on offense. Metzenara slowing this one up. A lot comes in for Mouse. Demo comes out on Ignite, so some space opens up for Tigre. Can he drop it down? Back post shot. Metzenaris does a good job to stay with it, and he does get the clear for TSM.
Oh, and a big double commit. Speed was trying to get aggressive, and now it puts Tigre in a rough spot. A lot trying to rotate through the offense, almost own goals it, but keeps the control of the ball and throws it out towards the opposite side, and that's that over-aggression that cost Mouse game 3.
TSM press on here. This one comes out to Remco a lot, still on the ball. We are seeing more and more pressure on the Mouse side. Here's a shot. It goes high for Metzenaris, trying to find that back wall. And Tigre's done a great job to stay with it. And again, TSM to answer back, not letting Mouse out of their own end. This is the game that TSM wants to play. Remco going past 2. He's got Metzenaris with support. Speed comes through to clear it out.
And Ignite's going to have to hold on a moment. Tap to safety of the corner, and a lot will size up the challenge, and actually not even able to get a piece of it. Speed trying to get this one back to Tigre, and Mouse not able to hang on to the ball near as well as they were early on in the series. They let the ball go for Metzenaris, and a lot. Way to make the adjustment and make that stop, because it really looked like Remco was going to pass that off the wall, and he got a lot to bite. And great adjustment to make the stop.
Things heating up for TSM here. Like we said, this is the game they want to play. They have Mouse spread out on defense. And this is an uncontested touch here for Metzenaris. He drops it down for Ignite a lot. Got to stretch out the far side here. And now into a dribble. Goes past Remco. Can't beat Metzenaris.
Now Speed trying to get through all 3 members of TSM. Not going to happen. Everybody ready for this. But Ignite in a tough spot. Can't find a touch. And Tigre is a tap in. And that was TSM. They were ready for Speed's touch, but all 3 of them went for it.
All 3 of TSM were up for this one, and Ignite just barely missing that touch. Tigre will come through and clean up the play for Mouse. They find themselves in the lead just past halfway.
And another one going to have to be found. TSM really not too worried about going down 1-0. You had to score 1 anyway to win. So why not find one? Great block from Tigre off the kickoff, though, will stall the quick equalizer opportunity. A lot off the sidewall, nobody home, and it'll be a just pushed up field from Remco, trying to get some boost and get things set up. Tigre finds a gap to Speed, to the net, and Metza can't reach it. He doesn't have to, though. It's off the post, and so close. It would have been great for Mousesports. Ignite stretching, and Mouse will cut that down.
Shot comes down from Ignite. Can Remco find the touch? No, it's cleared away by Mouse. Ignite, the pass across, cut out by a lot. Metzenaris tried to stop him from possibly gaining some possession here as Remco goes over the defense. The follow-up's there. A lot again. Doing so much on defense right now.
Yeah.
Metza to the midfield. Speed there to clean that one out. And Ignite staying back. Gets mind game by a lot. He might have some space here to go over Metza. They can't do it fast enough, and Metza saves the day for TSM.
Yeah, that fake to get around Ignite unfortunately cost him the control to beat Metzenaris in the one-on-one as well, but he steals the ball for Tigre in the corner and bounced wide. Mousesports again, almost a wide open net, just couldn't execute. And TSM hanging on by a thread, but time ticking, about a minute left here in game 4. It'd be a sad exit from the pro circuit for them as Speed gets one to a lot. Metza diving back, able to tip it high and keep them alive. Demo onto Ignite means TSM are going to be shorthanded on this push.
Metza with 3 crucial saves. Now Remco trying to find the back wall. This one's going to drop down. Speed doesn't find the touch. It's Ignite to come through for TSM, and we're tied up late.
Well, they were shorthanded, but they did it at the right pace. Able to slow it down enough to allow Ignite to get there, and Speed rotating into the net. It was just that fact that it rolled out. If it had bounced straight down, Speed could probably poke that to safety, but it came out into the middle, just over his head, couldn't quite reach it, and Mouse will not be able to hold off TSM with only a 1-goal lead.
Now Mouse trying to build. Ignite throws this one off the back wall. Remco over to Metzenaris, still dangerous here for TSM. Can he get the second touch? It's a scrum at the goal line, and Ignite comes through once again for TSM.
TSM deliver a stunner in game number 4. Speed under so much pressure. What are you going to do? I mean, you just got to make the save. At TSM, send everything in the kitchen sink and just force it into the net.
Ignite coming up clutch for TSM when they need it most here in this quarterfinal. Mouse, 20 seconds left to tie this game up, or we're going to a game 5. Metzenaris here in the midfield, pressing on. He's got support behind him with Ignite and Remco. Speed misses the touch here. 10 seconds left now. Remco waiting to see what a lot does. Here comes Mouse. Can they tie up the game? Seconds waning down. A lot to pass out to Tigre. He's there, and it almost goes through. In the end, TSM force a game 5.
That was going to roll right into the net, but TSM time on their side, saved by the bell, and Metzenaris,
all him.
Big saves, buying tons of time, and the final minute heroics between Remco and Ignite get the job done. Straight thievery in game 4.
You see the goal there from Mouse. It was a tap-in for Tigre, but then the big missed touch there from Speed just couldn't stretch out enough, and Ignite was the one to score the goals here, getting a second one, and look how close this was on the goal line. Tigre, he really did as much as he could there. The ball just went back and forth. It landed in his lap, and he was just panicking to get it out. And Ignite, the smarts to be there on the far side to put that one away, but it was really Metzenaris who kept TSM in this game. Save after save, 3 of them, in fact, on the goal line when Mouse was running down the field to keep TSM in it and Ignite to come through with the shots.
And while Mouse may have given themselves the best chance to knock off TSM, well, now they're going to have it come down to one final game. 5 minutes on the clock. Winner goes to the semifinals. Loser goes home. Out of lives here at day number 3. And right now, honestly, I don't actually know what to expect here. It could go either direction for game number 5. A lot's been popping off this series. He's been involved in every single goal. Metza doing a lot of great defensive work. Remco setting up a lot of opportunities. Ignite finding the back of the net, the most crucial aspect of that TSM offense. So what happens here in game 5? And we will find out, and it will start off with Remco having to take one off the nose of a Mouse player. That's a boomed upfield. Speed trying to replicate it out to the side. Tigre catches a hold of one. But already some early ping pong in game 5.
TSM wants a lead early here. And for Mouse, focusing on not being frustrating, being sent to game 5. They've beaten TSM twice before. They had their opportunity early on in the last game. Here's Speed. actually beat out by Remco. Misses the touch again. There's been quite a few from Remco this series. It opens up the spot for Speed to put it away.
What a save.
Big save. It's Metsinaris coming through once again for TSM.
Well, you said it last series. He made some big stops, and why not add one more to the tally? A lot's in a race. Can't get it through Remco. Metsa looking for help from Ignite. He's there. Everybody misses the ball, and TSM will have to get back on defense in the oncoming Mouse push. Speed trying to get as behind the ball as possible. Have to leave it for a lot, and things will take a brief respite here.
Here's Speed for Mouse. Again, been the X factor for them throughout these days. Metsinaris. This ball does go to the box of Mouse, but not scary enough. No one from TSM was expecting it. Metsinaris just chasing it across. Just shepherded away. Tigre on the clear, goes straight to Remco to stop that one up. Comes out to Speed. The pass over to Lot's just too far, and a lot pulls off.
And a lot actually made an awesome read. Pulled off that ball early and instantly read that clear for Metsinaris. And he's earned the ball right back for Mousesports.
Ignite and Remco get tied up in the midfield like they're challenging each other here, and now Lot has an opportunity to set something up. He's got Tigre at the top of the box, almost able to put it on top of his head. Here's Speed now, trying to pick that one up and find it off the back wall, but he's met by Ignite. Comes out to a lot of free shots at the back post. Remco makes a great save.
But pressure still mounting. Speed has that top corner. Remco clap it out to safety. Needs help, though, from his teammates to get this ball past the midfield line, and TSM, a welcome breath of fresh air. A lot up the sidewall is once more under the breach for Mousesports.
Tigre, the long clear, comes out. Mouse have had TSM on the ropes a couple times now, but still haven't found the mark. Ignite trying to change that. A lot shuts that down. A big demo. Remco forced to move up now. Metsinaris on the touch. TSM trying to break down this Mouse defense, but they are standing strong right now. Speed immediately down the field. Ignite on his own back wall for the clear.
That's in a race against Tigre, not able to come up cleanly with it. Ignite trying to control that midfield boost, limit Mousesports' ability to go set up the tent on the midfield line. Ignite towards the net. Remco wants the bump, and it will force everyone out. A lot to lend a hand and kick it out into the corner. Tigre trying to find a clear for Mousesports, but Ignite's already up the backboard. He's got Remco at the middle of the field, and a lot again. Two big stops in a row.
Big defensive stops for a lot. Here's Tigre now. Mouse trying to push down the field on the counter. Speed was there, right in the face of TSM's defense.
Push from Metsinaris towards the wall. Remco's got it, and that is a block from Tigre. A lot with a little bit of time, but might have rushed it. Thankfully, a helpful bounce away from Remco. Nets a clear for Mousesports, and Ignite tries to get right behind it, push this ball out, and help TSM get going.
Just over a minute. Still scoreless between these two teams, but that could change. It drops down for Metsinaris. He can't find the touch, and here comes Mouse. Speed trying to counterattack. He pops this one up. Tigre opts to not go, and a lot forced to go back.
60 seconds left on the clock.
Space for TSM, but Metsa doesn't have the option of utilizing it. Just had to punt that ball up the pitch, and Tigre now keeping Mousesports going. A lot. Early jump. Almost able to get a piece of that ball. Speed comes up empty, and it might be free for TSM. Metsa takes his time, and it will still beat the defense. And TSM with a 1-goal lead with 42 on the board.
That one's tough for Tigre. He's racing back. He has 19 boosts in the tank. He doesn't know which way Metsinaris is going to go. He goes high, top shelf, and Tigre can't get up. 42 seconds left, and TSM looking to reverse sweep Mouse.
Disaster for Mousesports, and you need to find something here. All-out press is going to happen. We've seen them get aggressive in the series before, but can they get past this TSM defense? Remco crunches one off the nose of Mousesports, throws it onto the orange half, and will waste precious moments. Ignite bumped off the play. Remco trying to keep it going, and what a steal to waste more time off the clock.
18 seconds left. Do Mouse have it in him to go down the field? Remco trying to shut it down. TSM on the attack right now. 10 seconds left. Tigre trying to find a way out of his own corner. Ignite won't let him. Speed now. A long clear comes out, trying to follow it up. Metsinaris shuts it down.
Last
chance here. Remco drops it down, and TSM, they do it. Reverse sweep Mouse.
What a way to go to start off game number 3. You're nervous waking up? Well, you can rest easy. You made it through. And, oh, Speed is gutted. He knows he should have came up with that touch. But what can you do? Rocket League is a game that demands perfection. Blinked for a moment, and TSM took it.
And I think if you're Speed, if you're Mouse, you can't hang your head on this performance. This was
A phenomenal run.
It really, really was. A team that no one expected to do so well here at DreamHack Dallas proved everyone wrong, and that's something to be proud of here. Taking TSM to the brink.
From relegation to almost knocking off TSM and going into the semifinals. It was a beautiful end to the season for Mousesports, but unfortunately it comes to a halt here. TSM will advance on to the semifinals, and when we come back, we'll have our final quarterfinal matchup of DreamHack Dallas. We'll see you in a few minutes.